And we are alive. We're alive, guys. Okay? And we are back in public. We're back in public. And I'm starting to make friends in the cafe, so that's good. Quick sound check. Sound is good. Sound check done. Just want to make sure that's all good so that you can hear me. We can have really good conversations. You understand? About really important stuff. We're going to get right into the topic. All right? What's the title? From anxiety to authenticity. Overcoming fear and building trust in a post-AI world. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about that little feeling inside of you that goes, don't do it. Don't do it. People are going to judge you. People are going to laugh. Your friends are going to be like, oh, look at him. He's trying something. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to listen to that voice. You don't have to listen to the voice. Because let's be honest, most people don't care. Most people either don't care or they wish that they were doing what you were doing. And the people that are going to hate on you, they don't matter. They don't matter because hating is a bad thing when we do it to people. We can hate things. We can hate things. We can hate concepts. We can hate ideas. As long as we don't convert that hate into rage, right? We don't want to get angry about things. We're good people, and we do good things, and we're not shy, okay? We're good people. We do good things, and we are not shy. And that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. So how do you go from... Just getting my coffee. Appreciate it. All right, we have our coffee, and as you know, I do not drink it. I'm going to touch it. Touch test. That's hot. We're not going to have it while it's hot, but we are going to have some water because I am dehydrated. And if you look at my videos posted, I just filmed a short. Okay, so let's get into talking about that short. And then we're going to talk about confidence because it's all kind of related. All right? We're going to talk about overcoming anxiety, right? Overcoming that fear. Now you can watch me drink some water. Okay? So we are here. We are drinking water. We're hydrated. Ooh. Lights are off, but we can still see. So, and they're back on. All right, just quick test. There's some maintenance guys here doing some work, but it doesn't matter because we are here and we are live. All right? Nothing's going to phase us. So how do you overcome that fear? How do you How do you get over it? How do you deal with all these issues happening? Oh, the lights aren't right. There's maintenance guys. It's too hot on the balcony and my computer doesn't work. How do you get over that? How do you? Let me tell you a story. Just from today. So, as you know, yesterday and the day before, I spoke about how we're ramping up the content, right? It's a content game, and we believe in the lives, but sometimes you're stuck on live with 0 people, right? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what you're talking about. And when you're on a live, you're going through perhaps very long-winded points. You know, it's all kind of accumulation of thought that happens over time. So when people click in, they're going to be a little lost, and they're not going to have the patience because they're used to Mr. Beast videos, and they're not engaged, right? They're waiting for something to happen, and it doesn't happen because they haven't heard the beginning of your point, and they've landed somewhere in the middle or at the end, or maybe you get lucky and they land somewhere, right? But we don't depend on luck. We're not lucky people. We don't care about luck. We don't believe in luck. All right. So how do you deal with that, right? So if live streaming is the way out, how do you get people onto your live, right? And it's to use the existing content ways that are available. Okay? Use what's available right now and use what's free. So what I did is, this was my process. I sat down and I did some research. I started searching up about popular content relating to AI, and I came across Lex Friedman and Elon Musk talking about AI safety. And I looked through it. I looked through the video, and I found an interesting comment that I found interesting about him talking to the former Google CEO, Larry Page. And Larry shouted at Elon when Elon was adamant about AI safety. And I thought that was an interesting point. I thought that was an interesting snippet, right? So you have to develop an eye for these things. And you develop that by knowing what you're talking about, right? This is the 0 to 1 process, right? Once you know what you want to talk about, you'll know what to look out for. So I knew what to look out for because I know what my thesis is now. I know what my argument is, I know what my problem is, and I know what my solution is, right? Now I'm building a model for that solution. So how do we get here? I take the video, I screen recorded it, and then using that, take the part that I know that I want in there, and I write a little script, enough to make up about 10, 20 seconds. And it's essentially commentary. It's commentary. So, we have our research. We have this popular person, Elon Musk, one of the richest people in the world, a very notable figure. When people see Elon Musk, they stay to watch, right? Because he's an important person. And you use Elon Musk's status to make a point, and people stay for Elon Musk, but then the people who are interested in what you're talking about, they stay for you. Okay? You see how that works? So, I wrote a script. I made it concise, right? I made it concise, and then I went and filmed it. And I wanted to do it outside because I thought it might look better. It was really damn hot, so I was sweating. It was incredibly hot, so I'm very dehydrated. So pardon me, I'm going to take another sip of water. That's not going to be enough water. Very dehydrated, right? Sometimes you got to get out in the sun, sweat a little bit, right? Nice sunlight. It's what? The temperature's really hot. It's like, I don't think it's 40 today, but it would be really funny if it's 40 today. I'm going to check the temperature today. Right now is 39. So I think it was, yeah. I think I went out when it was 41 degrees. I went out at max peak heat and nobody was out except for a couple of walkers, like one or two people I saw, and the rest was like construction people resting in the shade because it was damn hot, probably during their break, right? I go out there, and all these construction people and all these workers are out there on their smoke breaks, and I have to record a video. And first I'm like, oh no, they're going to be judging me, right? It's an immediate thought. You can't help it. It's going to come to you. Like, people are going to judge me while I'm trying to do something in public. Even right now, I'm live and people are peeking over. Like, what's this guy doing at a cafe with a mic in his hand? What's he doing? The truth is, I think we spoke about it yesterday. If you have a mission to complete, if you have a mission, then nothing else matters. Right? If you have a mission, then nothing else matters. If you're trying to solve a real problem, then it doesn't matter that people are watching. So I went on, I forget where I was filming, but it was right next to like a canal. And I had memorized the script, and I'm just walking around memorizing the script, and then I just recorded the video. It took me about 40 minutes to then get home and edit it, right? And then I posted it. And so if you look at my channel, you can see it posted now. So since we're ramping up the content, that is a taster of what's to come, right? And I did it all on my phone, right? And that's the thing. We want to be lean and efficient. The point is to be lean and efficient and use every single other content form as a funnel to your live streams, right? That's what we're building here, right? So that is using some of the more engaging things that I've been studying, reading books about, researching, right? And we're going to be implementing a lot more as we go. And we're going to be doing one scripted short a day. That's what we're going to be doing. So watch out for that. And we're going to be using shorts because I looked at my analytics, right? And what I do is from my live, I take a small snippet. I take a snippet of what I think is interesting and I post it as a short. I click the remix button, right? It's really simple. You just take a piece, you format it so it's cropped so you see enough of the face. And then you just put your text, whatever's relevant, and you make a title, you make sure the audience is selected not for kids, and you post it. And what I did is, minimum, I tried to take, if I could, 3 remixed shorts from every live, right? Some of the lives had good stuff in it, some of them didn't, but you make about 3 from each, and then I started testing. Right? I started testing and I found that I was getting a lot of engagement with my shorts. And about 80% of the people that were watching, in fact, watched the shorts and the live, which means that they were scrolling through shorts, they saw the short, and then they clicked on the button. So when you remix it, links it to the original video, right? And so it would just link it to the live. So what I'm finding out is shorts are incredibly valuable. Shorts are incredibly valuable, but you want to do them in the most lean and efficient way, right? You want to be able to do it on your phone, and you want to do it in a lean and efficient time frame. And you have a short, and you post one every day, right? So when I get home, I'm going to be doing some more research on a new video, new short, and then I'm going to chop that up and then I'm gonna put that in the thing. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna put it into CapCut, chop it up, and CapCut's great. It's got a lot of templates, makes it like efficient really fast, right? Because we're doing 0 ad budgets, right? 1 short, 1 live a day, and then I'm gonna be remixing from the live streams anyway. Minimum 3 from each live. Okay. And I'm there, right, recording the short, right? I have to record the short for there to be a short, right? It has to be me. I'm the face here. I'm trying to build trust. But it has to be me, right? So it's kind of a scary thing to put yourself out into the world and have people judge you. I had like these workers looking at me like, what's this guy doing? A couple of them were like laughing like, look at this. I think he's one of those guys who's trying to be a content creator, or maybe he's a content creator, you know. That's funny. And it is funny. You know, it is funny. Putting yourself out there invokes an emotional reaction from people, whether positive or negative, right? And that's what you want. If you go to some of my earlier lives, I talk about existing, right? Existence, right? We spoke about this, the saying, like, if a tree falls and nobody hears it, did it fall, right? And that's interesting, right? For me, that's very interesting because it means that if you are not, like, if that tree is not engaging with anything real, which is us, or just things from the animal kingdom, if a tree does not engage with anything, then did it happen, right? And if you are not evoking some sort of emotional reaction from your surroundings in any way, then are you real? Do you exist? The answer is no. The answer is no, you don't exist. And you want to exist. Because existence is good, and good things lead to other good things, and good things happen. You understand? Right? And that's where I kind of developed this idea of, like, you have to put yourself out there. You have to engage with your environment. There's no other way to really exist, right? If you're an artist and if your lights went, if you're an artist and you make some wonderful paintings, wonderful drawings, whatever, and no one ever sees it, and then you die and your house burns down, were you ever an artist? All your paintings are gone, all your drawings are gone. Were you ever an artist? Right? Consider how many people have amazing talents right now that are completely hidden. Completely hidden. And sure, you can say, we have some, as long as it's, for you, it's okay. But AI is coming, and it's already here. And if you search up, like, AI job loss on YouTube, you'll come up with a bunch of news stories about how people are already losing their jobs to AI, and how in the next, 5 years, things are going to get worse. It's not just me. The news is talking about this. It's coming. The smartest people in the world are talking about this. And you should be listening in. You should be listening in because it's important, right? You're going to lose your jobs, and you're going to be on universal basic income, and nobody's going to know anything about how wonderful you are, right? Perfect time for the light to come back. Nobody's ever going to know just how smart you are, just how creative you are, and quite frankly, I think a lot more people are intelligent and creative than we'd like to give them credit. And I think a lot of that comes from anxiety. A lot of that comes from anxiety and this fear of being wrong. There's a fear of being wrong that kind of controls our lives. And you cannot let that dictate what actions you take. Trees gotta fall. Trees gotta fall, so if it wants to make an impact, it might as well fall on your house. That's very real. AI is that tree, and it's very real, and it's gonna fall on your house. And you're not gonna miss it. You're gonna hear it. It's gonna be loud, and all you're gonna be able to do is just watch. You're just gonna be watching. So what happens now? Right? All this anxiety, this impending doom. What do you do? What do you do? Oh, there's someone in here. Hello. Hope this helps. How do you get over anxiety? How do you get over anxiety? You do that by having something so important in your life that it matters above, lights gone again. It matters more than what other people, it's back. It matters more than what other people think of you, or whether they agree or disagree. right? And if you look at a lot of these amazing stories by these amazing people, you'll see that they have something in common. The first one through the brick wall gets bloodied, right? And there's an infinite number of problems out there to solve. And I'm quite sure there is a problem that you can solve. That's the 0 to 1 progress of this, right? That's 0 to 1. You want to go from feeling like you can't do anything, you can't solve problems, the world is just going to be the way it is and you're going to have to deal with it, to 1, right? 0 to 1. And that confidence comes from having a mission. It's such a quick way of getting rid of anxiety, right? I have a mission, so I don't care that I'm in public right now. People are watching, they're interested. Some are like, what's this goofy guy doing? Some are like, oh, that's cool, right? And both of them are frightening. Both of them are frightening because one makes you feel like people are laughing at you, and the other gives you imposter syndrome, like, oh, they're thinking I'm so important, but I can't match up to that. They think I'm so important, and maybe I'm not so important, and so maybe I should just go home and play video games, right? That's what happens. Either way, whether you think people are looking up or down at you, there's fear involved. Either you become self-conscious about being laughed at, being made fun of, or you get imposter syndrome. And if you have a mission in mind, if you have a purpose, like I'm trying to help you stop being shy, and I'm trying to make sure that when AI comes, I've helped enough people to completely not just avoid the human job bubble, but also thrive. You want to be able to thrive. And that's what we're doing here. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee now if it's a good temperature. That's good temperature coffee. You know, it's nice and warm. You know, it feels hot. It's on the hotter side, so you get a little bit of like, oh, it's gotta cool it a little bit with your mouth, right? A little bit of, but it's coffee. It's not burning your mouth. I don't like it when coffee burns your mouth. Anyways, so you need a mission. You have to get from 0 to 1, from anxiety to authenticity. You have to realize that what is really you has actual value in it, and you have to believe that you have genuine value to offer to society. And everyone does. Everyone does. Right? That's my personal belief. Everyone has something to offer. The only reason they don't is because they're afraid of being authentic. Right? There are very few people in existence, in human life, right, that are genuinely looking out to cause harm. Right? They're just, and if someone is, they're just focused on something that they think is more important. Right? Everybody's got a greater good in their mind. And there are people out there who are just genuinely evil. But we're not those people because we're good people and we do good things. And we like good things to happen to other people. And I want good things to happen to you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Gotta slurp it up before it gets too cold. All right? Okay, so I went outside. I made my short. I put on some new clothes because those were incredibly sweaty. and I got ready, and I came here, and now I am live, all right? And I'm alive. And then I'm going to be remixing this, and then I'm going to be going so on, and slowly but surely we're going to be ramping up more and more content. For the next week, we're going to be doing one dedicated scripted short every day, right? That's what we're doing for the next week. And we're going to see the effects of that. So everything we do, we're going to do it categorically, right? First, we did the lives. It got a little bit of traction, and depending on how good your title is, you know, if you look at my live streams, one of them is close to 1,000 views. A live stream from a relatively small, not even relatively, just a small channel. 1,000 views on a live from a very small channel, right? And I didn't have to pay ads for that. That's organic. And that's something I want to talk about, right? When things actually affect people, it doesn't matter who you are. If your argument is sound, if you make sense, and if you're willing to do the research, and if you're willing to learn, good things will happen. You'll get views, right? And that's why your arguments have to be, authentic. They have to be formulated. So there's a lot of thinking involved. Because I want to bring this back because I really like this. I really like this. This is the mantra, guys. This is the mantra. Stop paying for ads. They might be useful now, but eventually they'll be useless because everybody's going to be doing AI ads, right? And AI is going to know what works best. So whoever has the most expensive software, they win. So stop paying for ads. We do not pay for ads, right? We're gonna figure out this monster. Get some coffee in us. Get energized. Coffee is the wine of the believer. Okay? And we believe. We believe in doing good things. We believe in being good people. And we believe in solving our problems. Okay? So have some coffee. And if you got blood pressure problems, consult your doctor. This is not medical advice. Have some coffee. And get to work, right? Write those scripts. And I'll be honest, it's not the easiest thing, right? Everybody struggles with, being loud in a public place or being a kind of, standing out. Nobody has a mic in their hands in this cafe. Holding up your phone so your face is clear for the selfie camera so you can record a short. And people are watching. Not easy. It's not easy. And it's not supposed to be. It should be difficult. But it does not matter. It does not matter if you have a mission, right? And we're on a mission, guys. We're going to figure this out. So we're going to be posting new shorts every day. We're going to be researching on what content is viral. And we're going to be developing scripts. And we're going to be posting that to funnel people into the lives. And people who are interested and genuinely see the value that we're offering, they'll stick around. And they'll come for the lives, and they'll start going live. And they won't pay for ads, right? Ads are for Google. Ads are for Coca-Cola. Ads are not for us. They can pay for ads. We don't need ads. Screw ads. We don't like ads. Understand? We don't like ads. We don't want ads. Ads can go to hell. Stop paying for ads. You don't need to pay for ads. You just got to grow a pair, right? And you got to put yourself on camera and you got to talk about important things, right? If you talk about important things, if you talk about real things, that's authenticity. Talk about real things and people will listen. And we're gonna be developing a method to get their ears to listen, right? People who genuinely believe what we believe, we want them to listen, right? So we went through from the 0 to 1 phase, developing an idea so that you know what you're talking about, so that you know what you're talking about is real. Then going from 1 to 1 plus n. Once you have your idea, you want that to have scalability. You want to be able to scale that. And you scale that by using tactics, tricks, right? Get people's attention. If I were to shout really loud right in this cafe, a lot of people would pay attention, at least for a little bit. And then if I said something that at least 1 or 2 people in this cafe, there's probably about a dozen people in this cafe right now. If I said something incredibly useful to 1 or 2 people in this cafe, they'd still pay attention, and the rest would just, stop bothering, get on with their business. That's okay. So that's what you have to do. That's a metaphor for what you have to do. You get on live, you talk about the important stuff, and then on shorts you clap really loud and you shout. Right? You shout, and then people listen. And the people that are interested in what you're saying, right? They'll stick around. And that's what you want. You don't want everybody's attention. I don't want to be here doing TikTok dances and, lip syncing, right? I'm not going to put on some music and start singing for the next 30 minutes, right? I want people's attention, right? So I'm loud. And then I talk about the very important thing that I'm talking about. I get onto the important stuff right away. Targeted attention hacking. You understand? Right? We have to figure out, and we are figuring out, how to shout in the proverbial cafe of the internet to get people's attention. Right? And there's already a lot of methods out there. But they just get attention. We want specific attention. We want specific attention so that we can provide genuine value, right? And I want, the only thing I want you to pay in these lives is your attention. And only if what I'm talking about is important to you, if it matters to you. I want you to pay attention if this problem is also your problem. Because AI worries me. And I'm happy it exists. I'm happy AI exists, and I'm happy it's coming. But with it comes a lot of issues. And we have to be prepared for those. And that solution is incredibly important to me because I see value. I see opportunity. And I want to get as many people jumping on this opportunity as possible. I want you to jump in on this I want you to jump in on this opportunity. I want you to get over your fears, and I want you to click the live stream button. I want you to go from 0 to 1, and then I want you to go to 1 to 1 plus n, right? From nothing to something. That's real value, right? Let's say you want to start a business. Right? Let's say you want to start a business and you want to sell coffee. Right? How many coffee companies are out there? Let's say you want to start a business Okay, I'm gonna try and say this in one go, so that it's not too choppy in the remix, right? Okay, that's another thing. Remix is a really good function of YouTube, right? You get a video and you just remix it, and then people get sent to your original video, right? But the thing that you're chopping up has to be interesting. So you want at least 10 to 15 to 20 seconds, and if you have the skills, quite honestly, go up to 60. Be able to talk in an engaging way without any music, without any of that. Just talk about something important, right? Talk about something interesting in an interesting way. As I was explaining that, I completely lost my track of thought. Coffee. We were talking about coffee. Okay, so we're gonna try and do a take. All right. So this is live workshop on how to remix your content, your live, into a usable short. Okay. We start with a question. If you want to start a business, and then we go to something that's saturated, right? A saturated market, coffee, right? This is so meta right now. This is incredibly meta. Let's say, okay, we start with something interesting. If you want to start a business, a question. A lot of people want to start a business. In these live stream, that's what we're telling people to do. This is how you do it, right? That's what I'm teaching you. If you want to start a business, immediately the people that are interested in starting a business, they'll be engaged, right? If you want to start a business and you decide to sell coffee, you're going to have to spend on ads, right? Because it's not an original idea. If you have an original idea, you do not need to pay for ads. Attention will just come because it's original and you're solving a problem that exists and it resonates with people. Okay, I think that was a good take. That was a good take, right? That was a good take. This is also a really good workshop in building confidence in messing up takes, right? Because I've done this a lot of times where you just you mess up takes and you're like, ah, crap, that was horrible. Why am I doing this? You know. But here we are. We want to use a remix function, right? So first we have the question. We talk about a saturated market and we talk about the problem with that. And then we say, but you don't have to do that, right? And then we give our solution. So it's so far, and we just figured it out. This is all live, guys. I did not pre-plan this. It's a 5-point system. Ask a question, give the general answer, right, that people will do. If you want to start a business, you know, there's a lot of things you can go to that make a lot of money. Only issue is you will have to pay for ads because the market is saturated, right? Then we have the problem. And then you have 4. But you don't have to do that. There is another solution. Right? The problem is ads. The problem is ads. And we're saying you don't have to spend money on ads, right? And then suddenly it's like, oh, okay. The thing that I thought that you're supposed to do when you're starting a business, I don't have to do that. And then you get to the solution, right? And that's a real solution that you're offering. Remember, guys, we're not scammers. We're not scammers. We're offering real solutions. So if you're a scammer, this is very not useful for you because you cannot survive live streaming if you're a scammer. And that's the beauty of it. You cannot survive it in the long term unless you're like Hannibal Lecter, you know? And there's very little people out there that have the red dragon personality type. Okay? You're not a red dragon. You're just poor and brave. To quote JME. You know what? That's another remix right there. That's another remix right there. I'm going to talk about JME. I like JME. If you're a scammer, you do not want to be live streaming, right? Because it's very easy to get caught as a scammer while you're live streaming. So this is not useful for you. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. I don't think there's some use there. I don't think there's some use there. We're gonna move on that. I think what we got there is enough. I'm gonna try that what we have. Right? Yeah, no, it doesn't work. I can't think of a way to combine the original idea with the JME line because it doesn't work. All right, trial and error, guys. Trial and error. It's okay. Things mess up. Right. So you have a lot of free tools available, and if you are talking about the correct thing, if you're solving a real problem, then people will listen, and you do not need to spend on ads. Isn't that beautiful? You don't need to spend on ads as long as you solve an original problem. That's why research is so important, because you have to know what is already out there. You have to know what's available. It's like that guy who made like elephant dung coffee, right? And then everybody was into elephant dung coffee. It's completely new. They made coffee. They fed coffee to elephants and then took the elephant shit and then they made coffee out of it and everybody loved it. And apparently it was like really good. Never tried it. Don't want to. Maybe on a blue summer day. Right? Because coffee's coffee. We like coffee. But I don't know how I feel about elephant shit. But right, that's a new thing in the market. Right? Elephant shit was new on the market. Right? And whatever benefits they promised from it, people resonated. Right? Now, I'm not saying you have to make elephant shit coffee, but you can solve an original problem by doing the research and finding a gap in the market. You do the research, you find a problem, then you find a solution, then you solve that problem. You go towards that solution head on, and you figure it out. And then people's lives are better because of you. And that is a mission. That's a mission, and that's how you gain confidence. Confidence comes from doing real things, right? No matter how shy you are, if your loved one is on a train track and they need to be dragged off, no matter how weak you are, you're going to try and pull them off, right? You're not going to be worried about, like, if you're at the gym and if you're really skinny and if you see a heavy weight on the floor and someone says, hey, go and lift that, you're going to be like, nah, I don't think I can. And even if you try, you're going to be like half-assing it because you're like, I don't really even want to pick this. I'm going to break my back. But if that was your loved one, you don't care about breaking your back. Right? I'm not saying break your back, but it's important to know that anxiety is the fear of doing something that harms you. Right? And often when it comes to the online space, it's kind of reputation, kind of, like things like that, status, things like that. Afraid of being wrong. People are going to think you're stupid. People are going to disagree. And that's okay. That's okay, because we're here to convince people. If you disagree, that's okay. I'm here to convince you otherwise. If you don't believe this is a real problem, I think you're wrong, and I'm going to argue with you in a respectable way, because we're good people, and we do good things. And now we're going to get to kind of the ending portion of this, right? I might do another live later if I come up with an idea. But right now we're gonna cut to the end of this live, but we're gonna do something specific, right? I bought a pair of shades. I bought a pair of shades, and people said I looked stupid. I bought a pair of shades, and people said that it did not look good. I bought a pair of shades that I looked cool, and people disagreed. And most people, when they get fashion advice from others, they kind of consider it like, oh, yeah, other people are going to think this way. Maybe I shouldn't wear this. Maybe I shouldn't try it. But We don't care. We're peacocking. Right? We're peacocking. People might tell you, those shades look stupid. Don't wear them. You look a certain way. You're giving off a certain vibe. But it's okay. We got some cool shades on and we're peacocking. That's what we're doing. We don't care if people think these look stupid. We don't care if people think that we look goofy. Doesn't look good. Doesn't matter. We're peacocking. And that's a metaphor for what we're talking about here. We're trying to solve real problems. And so, what other people think doesn't matter. I like wearing these shades. So I'm going to wear them. We're peacocking. You understand? Got a couple onlookers. You right? Got a couple onlookers. Also, I cannot see, so it's very dark in here with those on. That's what we're learning. All right? And you don't... This is an interesting point. Once you've built the synaptic connections in your brain where you have a mission and you're doing the right thing, then everything can be turned into a mission because you know exactly the mental process for getting there, right? If you have a larger mission in mind, you build overall confidence, and then you can do little things like that, right? Because you get in the mind frame of not caring what other people think and just doing what you feel is right. And that's a muscle and you have to build it. It's a muscle and you have to build it. And the best step is to have an overall larger mission in mind. We are solving real problems for real people with real solutions. And so it doesn't matter. And once you get that first inkling of it does not matter what other people think, everything else becomes easier. Everything else becomes easier. And so even the tiny things, the little things that don't matter, you stop caring. And that's a beautiful thing. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, guys. Stay hydrated because we are peacocking. All right? In every form of existence, we are engaging with our environment because we are real. You are real. This is what reality feels like. People judge you. People think things. People say things. And it does not matter. People think things. People say things. And it does not matter. And to get on more of the technical side of things, we're going to be keeping an eye on our shorts. The scripted ones. We're going to be keeping an eye on our scripted shorts. And we're going to be developing them. And we're going to be coming up with more ideas. And we're going to be kicking the algorithm's butt. We're going to kick the algorithm's butt. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're learning here, guys. So if you want to learn how to kick the algorithm's butts, subscribe, keep watching. And I'm going to teach you because I'm going to figure this out from bottom up, right? We're going to be looking at things that already exist, right? There's a lot of content out there on how to get more views, but we're going to be doing it in a way where it's very targeted, right? And we get a very specific niche audience. That's what we want to build. We do not want a very mixed array of people watching. And they can watch if they want. But they're not, we're not going to be talking about things they care about, so they're going to tune out, right? So we want to be talking about things that people care about. And yeah, just completely blanked out. I've noticed that I last about 40 to 50 minutes while I'm yapping on live, and then I just run out of ideas. So I've been limiting my lives to about that time. If you look, I started off doing about 2 hour lives, 3 hour lives, approximately. And then we had some technical issues, so the lives got shorter. And we were dealing with frame drop issues because Dubai is incredibly hot. But we solved one problem at a time. We solved one problem at a time. Now we're in public, live in a cafe. And we're having coffee, and we're having water. And things are good. Things are good. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. And I'm not going to go offline just yet. And I'm just going to sit back and relax a little bit. And I'm going to think. About how I can help you out some more, right? So, I'm challenging myself as I'm asking you to challenge yourself. So I'm already, I got from 0 to 1, and I'm attempting to go from 1 to 1 plus n. And so we're going to challenge ourselves. I've got nothing in mind right now, right? This is how that feels like. I had a little prop that I had planned. I was going to wear the shades, goofy little shades with a circle. I look like natural born killers. And we're just going to stay on live. I'm going to stay on live until we get more ideas. Because we're talking about from anxiety to authenticity. So, okay. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to relax. And I'm going to talk about authenticity. Because we've talked about one half. I realize that. See, just by staying on, I've come up with another idea. Right? Didn't take that long. Right? From anxiety to authenticity. We've talked about how to go from anxiety. Now we have to talk about how we land on authenticity. So while I take a little break, I'm going to take a little break. And I'm going to put the stream break on. You get to listen to some elevator music. And we're going to keep peacocking. And we're going to talk about how to get to authenticity. How to land on authenticity. Because it's very important. It's very important. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and And we are alive. Again, we're back. We're back. And we're talking about important stuff, right? Before the break, we were talking about escaping anxiety, and we made some very useful points. So if you missed that, do make sure to check that out. But we will be going into it further in future lives too. So subscribe, and good things will happen. Okay? So, authenticity. And why is it important? You might be thinking, well, if I want to be a content creator, I could just, fake a personality and, it'll all be okay. I can just pretend to be, a certain type of person. But I'm here to tell you, you shouldn't. You should be yourself. You should talk about real things and you should be yourself. There's nothing more interesting than reality. And what you are is real. What you are is real. Are we lagging? Getting some internet problems. Okay, we're good. We're good. We had some problems. It's coming up with one bar for me earlier, but dropped some frames, but we are good. Wait, how's the sound? Quick sound check. Okay, we're good for sound. Few frame droppings, but we're getting 0.7% frame dropping. That's okay. Laptop's heating up just a little bit, even in air conditioning. But that's fine. That's fine because we are functional. We are functional. We're talking about authenticity. You have to be yourself. It's just that. It's just that time. It's just that time to be yourself. A few years ago, maybe like what, 2016 era? Like, well, that's not a few years ago, shit. Like 8 years ago. It really worked online if you were just a really loud and really exciting personality, but now it doesn't work. Right? We're seeing that. People like Sam Sulek, right? Millions of subscribers. I think it's just a million. Oh my, jeez, I don't even know. A lot of subscribers, a lot of views. He is an incredibly potent personality online. Why? No fancy edits. 40-minute, 50-minute long videos of him just talking about his food, about his workouts. And it's just him. And he's just working out, and he's himself. He's talking about his workout methods and what works for him, and he's teaching people different ways. Some of it's bro science, some of it's not. He's a smart kid, and he's not trying to be anything other than himself. And people like that. He's real, and he's himself, and he's authentic, and it works. He's real, he's authentic, he's himself, and it works. And you have to realize that nothing is going to work as well as attracting the right kind of people to your content than just being your authentic self. That's important. That's important. You have to be yourself. If you're not funny, it's okay. If you're funny, use that. If you're funny, use it. If you're not, screw it. You don't need to be funny. If you're boring, be boring. There's boring people out there. They'll like you. I was going to start wearing white shirts, I wanted to, emulate the feeling of like I'm at work, but I like feeling like I'm on holiday. So you'll see me with a lot of colored shirts, like Hawaiian shirts, things like that. That's what I like to wear. I like to feel like I'm on holiday even if I'm working, and that's me. So I'm authentic, at least in that sense. But authenticity is a bit of a work in progress, right? Just like you're going from solving problem 0 to 1 to 1 plus n, authenticity is something that comes from 0 to 1 to 1 plus n. First, you have to actually figure out who you are, and that comes from just not censoring yourself, you know? And I don't just mean that in the form of making dirty jokes or, trying to cross the line in a sense of, like what's allowed to be said or not. But even things where you're like, no, that's not interesting, but it's you. So it has to be said. And once you go through the process of figuring out what you want to say, you get to the point of being able to use that to say things with regard to what you want to solve. Someone dropped something. And that's where authenticity comes from. So we're authentic because we allow ourselves to be funny. We allow ourselves to not be funny. Let's say you're talking about something very serious. Let's say you're talking about something very serious and you don't think, people losing jobs. It's pretty serious because of AI. But, I like to make jokes. I'm going to make jokes. That's just the way it is, right? So that's not to say, you should be disrespectful. We're good people. We do good things and we're respectful, right? But we're not going to stop being ourselves because that's what people want to see. What's interesting is not you trying to emulate like 10 different YouTubers that you enjoy and try to mix in different personalities and see, what works. It's about being yourself. It's about being yourself and using your mind, your solutions as something that people want to listen to. Right? You are you, and you have to be yourself. And you're going to solve real problems, and people are going to come for those problems. And you get to be yourself. All right? Isn't that fun? It's fun being yourself. Right? It's one of the things I had an issue with at university is I studied film. So occasionally for a lesson in university, they tell us to make video essays. And me, I just like making jokes. So I'd be talking about a subject and I'd just make jokes. I'd have like a video essay and I'd just throw in a bunch of jokes. And my teacher's like, no, this isn't good. And he marked me down for my professionalism. And I thought, I disagree. Why not make it engaging the way I like it? I'm going to make a video that's entertaining, that's informative, but it's also something that I can enjoy. And he didn't like that. And that's okay. That's his view of what professionalism is and what counts as, for what counts for marking for, standards in university. And that's cool. I get that. But I'm not going to stop doing it. So I did that throughout my university time. And I did things the way I wanted to, and sometimes people did not get it or did not like it, and that's okay. And that's something actually that's a skill you have to acquire. Right? You have to put yourself out there. You have to put yourself out there. And because I studied film, we had to make films in class. And I got to the point where I had made something, and I realized just how terrible it was. And it got to the point where we had to get into a lecture hall and display it in front of a few hundred people. And as your time is coming, something happens in your stomach and you want to throw up. Or at least I had that, right? I would sit there feeling like I'm going to be sick, basically putting out my ideas into the world, right? And I'm just sitting there thinking like, oh no, I forgot to make a certain edit, and then I'm watching it, and as it's going, I want to throw up, and I zone out, the world doesn't exist, and I'm just like, oh shit, what's happening? And then the second it's finished, it's like, okay, I'm alive, I didn't throw up, and I put myself out in the real world, and I was myself, and I did exactly the way I wanted it. I did it exactly the way I wanted to do it. I did it exactly the way I wanted to do it, and I wouldn't change a thing, whether it was good or bad, because it was an experience I learned from. Right? It was an experience I learned from. You have to make You have to do a bunch of shitty lives before you finally start doing some good ones, right? And I don't know where I am on that process just yet. I know I started from like a really shitty frame rate, poor quality, shitty audio, and then we had better audio, but we still had the frame rate issues. We solved that problem. Now we're here. And still the quality of the lives is a little bit because I'm still using a webcam, but that aligns with my goal. You start from shitty and you learn, and that's the only way you come up with real solutions, right? You have to know why something doesn't work for you to know why something does. And you're not going to know whether something works or not unless you're in a room full of 100 people, 200 people watching the thing that you created, right? Because it's a content world out there, right? So I'd make my short films for university class, and they would suck. You know, at least I hated them. And then people would come afterwards like, oh my God, great job. And I'd be like, thanks, thanks. Did my best. How'd you do that thing? It's like, oh, thank you. I did spend 8 hours on that little piece, so I appreciate the compliment. And that's all it's about. And there's no amount of preparation that can prepare you for that. So you just have to do it. You have to go through that horrible feeling, and it'll be a very important lesson. You got to sit there with that feeling in your stomach like you're going to throw up, and you have to get through what you made, and you have to just put it out there in the world, and you will learn from it. You have to put out the shit, and then you learn how to do better. And that's how you get better at live streaming. That's how you get better. And there's no other way. There's no other way than just doing it. And that feeling if you're going to throw up, feeling if you're going to cry maybe. I wasn't going to cry, but I was going to throw up. You have to just get through it. And when you do difficult things, good things happen. When you do difficult things, good things happen. So if you're a business owner, you're a founder, or if you even have nothing to sell, get on live stream. Get through that tough part, right? Like when you get a haircut and you don't like it. You have to go out there. You can't just hide, right? You can try, but a week later, you know, it looks not so bad. Or maybe you get it cut again. Or maybe you just go bald. Don't go bald. It doesn't look good. I've tried it. You know, at least once in my life I thought I'd go bald to see how I'd look. And it was not good. And I may or may not do it again, but I am definitely not looking forward to it if I do. Because it doesn't suit me. It does not suit me. And when I was bald, going through PTSD right now. When I was bald, I really made myself think it was okay. And then when I wasn't, I was thanking God that I was not bald anymore. So sometimes you have to go bald. Sometimes you have to go bald because there's like this thing inside your head. It's like, I wonder if I look good bald. And sometimes you have to go bald. I didn't have to go bald. Sometimes you just have to go bald. I saw an opportunity to go bald, and I took it, and then I was bald, and I had an awkward phase for my hair, and it was okay because I was alive, and my hair would grow. And if I ever start losing hair, I'm going to Turkey because I like my hair, and I hope to keep it. God have mercy. I like my hair. I like it. Some people have said maybe it'll look good shorter, but I like the way it is, and it's, you know, I do like it when it's shorter too, but I'm gonna let it grow, and I like the way it is, right? And that came from trial and error. That came from a lot of trial and error and different hairstyles. Right? Do you see how, like, haircut's a metaphor for live streaming? Everything's a metaphor, guys. Everything is a metaphor if you're brave enough. You understand? Authenticity. To be real or not to be real? That is the question. The answer is to be real. They gave me some chocolate with my coffee, so I'm going to have that now. So, because I'm getting hungry, even though I just ate. But it's a little snack. A little snack. And after this, I'm going to need water. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need water. Because my mouth's pretty dry. And I'm going to have chocolate. And it's going to make me want water. We're making decisions, guys. We're making decisions. I'm having the chocolate. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I'm glad I did it. Not as thirsty as I thought I'd be. You see how life is just about trying things? Trying things and then not worrying about what might happen. Because you know you can deal with it. If you know you can deal with the consequences, you're more likely to do the thing. If you know, I'm going to try to remix this one as well. If you know you can deal with the consequences, you're more likely to do the thing. So if you have an awareness of what you're capable of, then you're more likely to do the difficult thing. And the more you do difficult things, the more aware of just how well you can do it you get. And that's how you get better. That's how you're more able to be yourself. And that's how you're more able to do more difficult things. It's like a muscle. And you shouldn't start small with this. You should not start small. I recommend going to the deep end immediately. Immediately. 0 to 1. From nothing to something. Go to the deep end immediately. And then life just gets better. Right? You just get better. Right? You see how it works? You have a mission that if you have a mission that takes you from 0 to 1, you're not going to be caring about what kind of goggles you're wearing, what kind of shirt you're wearing, what you're doing. It doesn't matter. If you have a mission in mind that's more important than worrying about what people think of you, you will just be able to do the little things easily because that synaptic connection gets formed in your brain. You know how it feels like to not care about what people think. And once you have that, by jumping in the deep end, you just get better. My throat's getting dry. Footage from 2021 captures... What's this? Footage from 2021 captures the final moments before 7 college students died. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was morbid. I'm pretty sure the channel's name is morbid, morbid knowledge. Yeah, that was indeed morbid. I don't know what I expected. Their lives got cut short, and that's tragic. It's tragic when your life gets shortened like that. It's really tragic when your life gets shortened, or someone you know whose life gets shortened drastically and immediately. And that should be a wake up call, right? Let this be a wake up call. Be afraid of death. Not about dying. Don't be afraid of dying. It's perfect timing for the light. Don't be afraid of death. Be afraid of not doing the things that you wanted to do when you had the time. So you have to be authentic because there were only one of you in the entire universe. And you're probably interesting, even in your boring state. You're probably interesting even when you are boring. Because there's a lot of boring people out there that just like to cut through the crap. Me, I like making jokes. Sometimes. But sometimes I'm just boring. Sometimes I'm just serious. And I'm gonna keep doing that. That's how I find I am less worried about what other people are thinking when I allow myself to be completely authentic. Sometimes I'm going to talk for about 20 minutes straight, and it's going to be just talking. It's going to be yapping. But I care about what I'm talking about, and I'm not worried about whether I'm making jokes. But sometimes I make jokes because they come to me. Right? It's a process, guys. It's a process, but it's doable. And the fastest way to get to that is to jump in the deep end. Jump in the deep end. Do you understand? So somehow, I don't know how, somehow we've made it to about an hour and 25. I don't know how we got here. But we're going to keep going. And so yeah, that's the new schedule. We are going to be making more content that's engaging, but not on the lives. The lives are for us to discuss. The lives are here to discuss important things and come up with important solutions to important things, important problems. We're going to solve them on the live, but we're going to get people's attention using shorts. We're going to learn how to use shorts to get people listening, right? This is the basis of my attention hacking thesis. You understand? Okay. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. It's beautiful that we're on live and we're talking. Mostly to ourselves, but that will change because we believe in the process. We believe in the process, right? You have to get used to talking to real people. But before you do that, you have to learn how to talk to yourself. You're going to spend a lot of hours talking to 0 people. You're going to spend a lot of hours live streaming to 0 people, and then eventually you're not. By using the tricks I'm going to teach you. Because live streaming is the new meta. It's an emergent market, and we're going to kick its ass. We're going to exploit it in a friendly way. We're going to exploit it in a friendly way, and we're going to kick AI's ass, and it's not going to kick ours, right? But we like AI. AI is nice. AI is fun. AI is useful. The unfortunate thing is that we are not. In all the things that AI can do, we are not useful, but we are useful here. There's an infinite number of problems. AI is going to be trying to solve them, and so are we. We're going to come up with real solutions, and AI is going to learn from them. AI is going to learn from them, but it's not going to have our insight. It's not going to have our unique insight, which we build on the live streams. Do you understand? You have to overcome your anxiety by having a mission, And then you have to learn how to be authentic, going from 0 to 1 to 1 plus n. It's a mantra. And what are we not going to do? What do we not do? What do we not? I feel like you're not listening. What do we not do? What do we not do? Say it with me. What do we not do? We don't pay for ads. We don't pay for ads. We don't like ads. We're not falling for that. Google, Amazon, big companies with big money, you can pay for ads. We're not paying for ads. We don't need to, because we don't need to. We're not going to pay for people's attention. We're going to steal it by providing them real value. We're not going to pay for attention. We're going to steal people's attention by giving them real value. Right? And we're going to learn all about that. And I feel like we've learned quite a lot already. We've come a long way. We've come a long way. There was a lot of maintenance going on today. A lot of maintenance. I stand out even more because people are looking at the maintenance guys and they're right next to me, so they're wondering who is this guy on a mic in the middle of a cafe. But we don't care because we have a mission. You understand? Why it's important to have a mission. And then everything else matters just a little bit less. Okay? Okay. I think we've done quite a bit. I've extended my general live time by half. And it's a muscle I'm working on because I'm intending to go live for a lot longer. And I can start going live on my phone when I have 50 subscribers. We're at 48. So we're going to have to figure out a new way to do content. Right? And that's part of it, right? That's part of it. Just everything's a problem. Everything's a problem. We figured out how to escape the heat on the balcony. We found a cafe, but now we have to figure out how to do it from our phone so I can do more intensive lives and talk about work and really go through the process of how to get things right here. Making content that's engaging so you can funnel people to your lives and really help them. You want to help people, guys. You want to help people. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. You want to help people by not paying for ads. Don't just pay for their attention. Steal it by helping them in the nicest way possible. Okay? All right. I'm going to stretch. We are here, we are real, and we are working. Okay, so let's talk about the work a little bit. Because I'm just going to keep going until I'm just absolutely mentally exhausted. Because there's only so much I can do while I'm live from my laptop. Right? There's only so much I can do, so we're just going to go for it. Okay? Let's talk about the work. I'm currently developing a system. To not pay for ads because ads are a problem, right? We don't like ads. We want to scream in the middle of the proverbial cafe of the internet, and then we want to start talking about a real problem, right? That people can really sink their teeth into. And And we like lives because it helps people to pay attention to things, right? And that's another important part of this, right? People are so, like, their attention spans are screwed. And for me, this is a bit of a secondary goal, right? I'm solving quite a few things in my mind, at least. I'm trying to solve the problem of uh, mindless brain rot that's occurring in people's minds. And you do that by allowing them to focus on something, right? You do that by giving them something to focus on. And that's why you want to talk about something real, right? If you talk about something real, someone who's affected will listen, and eventually you get better at talking about it, and you become more engaging just by sitting on the live and just talking. You become more engaging. And big part of why you want to solve real problems is because it helps people to focus and feel productive and improve their lives. Not just with the solution that you're offering, but being able to pay attention to live streams and not just like video games, right? 'Cause that's one way, but it's mindless. You know, video games don't solve any real problems unless you're at the fringes and you're making a lot of money and I guess you give to charity or something like that. But you know, video games are a pastime. So they pass time. But what you want from your live streams is to people to gain real value so that when they join your live, they're not only, you know, paying attention because they care about what you're talking about, they're actually learning something. And they're using it to improve their lives. And that's what we want to do. We want to fix people's attention spans, and we want to do it by providing real value that they can pay attention to. So it's really important, that step of going from 0 to 1. That's really important because what you're doing there is you're really searching for a real problem. And if you can solve a real problem, you can create a solution to a real problem, a real solution, then you're genuinely helping people. And I want you to be less anxious. I want you to be more authentic. And I want you to not care about what others may think. And I want you to go out there and help people because we're good people and we do good things. So subscribe and good things happen. All right? That's what we're doing. Okay. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Right? You see how like well formulated it is now? Right? I'm on day 21 and it's far more formulated. Right? It's much easier to understand. The arguments I'm making are far more difficult to argue with, right? Which develops my confidence even more. I started from 0, I'm at 1, and I'm working on 1 plus n, right? This is why 0 to 1 plus n. It's beautiful. Sorry, I just gotta. Wow. All right. I've just had some theft occur. I'm just getting a message that my bar, protein bar that was in the fridge, has been stolen, but that's okay. No problem. I'll get myself another one. All right, back to it. We are real, we are authentic. We go from 0 to 1 plus n. We build confidence. We build a strong foundation for our problem, and we build a strong solution. And we know what we're talking about. Because we did the good things, we did the research, we did good things, and now good things will happen as a result. So we've ramped up the content. We've ramped it up. Starting today, first scripted short is out. Do check it out. I give you reviews, what you thinking about it, whatever. I mean, I'm doing research on the back end anyway, figuring out different ways to create content. I've created a model, and we're going to be testing that out. And you should go live, get from 0 to 1 based on what I said, and then start making shorts. And because shorts are incredible for organic reach. Shorts are our dirty little secret, and we're going to use them in a very particular way. We're going to use them in a secretive way. We're going to be very secretive little secret dudes. And we're going to steal people's attention so we can solve their problems and help them. And they won't even realize. They won't even realize, and we'll have changed their lives. Do you understand? It's quite beautiful. It's like the perfect bank robbery, but I'm stealing money and giving them gold, because gold is better than printed paper. I wonder if you'd get in trouble for robbing a bank and leaving the equivalent value of gold inside. I'm going to do that again because I think that might be a short. I wonder if you'd get into trouble. I'm going to do that again. I wonder if you'll get into trouble for robbing a bank, but then leaving the equivalent value of gold behind. Because you've taken the money, but you've left gold, which is arguably far more valuable because money is a concept. Would you get in trouble? Would they care? Like, they would just send it to, like, the Bank of England or the Federal Reserve, and then, they could just sell it. They could just keep it, It's real. That's what we're doing. We're stealing people's attention while their brains are rotting, and then we're giving them gold. We're going to hijack their attention. We're going to steal it. We're little Robin Hoods. But in this case, we're going to steal from them and give it back. And we're using YouTube. We're using live streaming. I'm going to be spanning out content onto different social medias soon. But TikTok is something I'm battling with, because TikTok is a special beast, and it requires a specific way of handling it. TikTok gets a very strange kind of audience. It's a lot of kids. And if you make engaging content, you might get a lot of views, but what works on TikTok is as a pretty early 20-something girls lip syncing and making cutesy expressions. So I'm not sure if TikTok is the platform for me and for this mission, but we're going to test it out. And we're going to see if it works. All right? Cool. 1 hour and 42. We are really stressing the thought muscles here. Really stretching out thin here with my brain. I think we've almost doubled the amount of live stream time now that we're usually used to. Back when I was just yapping in the early days, it was easier to do like a few hours because there was no kind of direction, and I was kind of discovering a direction, so I could really talk about anything. But now it's like, you know, a um, very directed ideas of what I'm going to talk about in the live. So it's good to, begin stretching that muscle of coming up with new things on the spot that are actually related to what you're talking about and are actually useful, right? So I'm not only developing insights, I'm developing the muscle to come up with valid answers and solutions on the spot, right? And that's the beauty of live streaming. Instant feedback. And I'm going to look back on this, and some of it might be, useless. But as we have progressed from day 0 to now day 21, we've come to a point where we're far better at handling just being on live and talking about a very specific topic for a long period of time. And each direction that we go to, we are relating it back to the original topic, right? Everything I'm talking about is somehow related to the title. And I'm going to be coming up with a lot of stories and different things and personal idioms and anecdotes, whatnot, right? And that's how it works. You get better by just doing. You get better by just doing. And it's exhausting. I'm not going to lie to you. It's exhausting, especially not having a comfortable chair and leaning forward on this sofa. But we're here. We're thinking. Our back's hurting. And we're doing good work. We're doing good work. And you have to learn from what you're talking about, right? And how that affects the algorithm, right? With my live, one of it reached almost 1,000 views. And I was talking about Indian scammers and how they, how AI will affect you being scammed, and how how Indian scammers are gonna like take over and use AI, right? The Indian scammer is a big topic on the internet. Everybody loves talking about it, so I'm like, put that in the title because it's an interesting point, safety, security on the internet, and it got a nice amount of views. And I've been trying to recapture that by kind of going further into the topic, and it hasn't worked so far. It hasn't worked so far. So I've obviously locked into something that I didn't know that I locked into. I locked into something without realizing. And I've been trying to catch it, but I've missed the boat somehow. And that's what it's about, right? You're going to miss some boats. You're going to miss some boats. You're going to catch something, and that fish is going to swim away. But it's okay, because you're going to spend that time on the boat. You're going to spend that time on the live stream, and you're going to figure it out one step at a time. One step at a time. So I think we've doubled our live stream time. So I think for me, I'm going to start wrapping it up. I'm going to go buy a protein bar because mine's been stolen. And we're going to go to the toilet. We're going to go to the toilet because it's been almost 2 hours. It's been almost 2 hours. And the reason I haven't had the need to go to the toilet yet is because I haven't had a lot of water. So step 1, hydrate. Step 2, go to the toilet. Or, toilet first. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. As you can see, I'm a serial yapper. I will talk about almost anything, but I will bring it back to the topic because I am focused. And we're talking about some real shit. Some real problems and some real solutions. So tune in, guys. Tune in. And let's help you out. That was another remix. You see how it works? Right? I'm wired in. I'm ready to end the live, but I'm wired in. I think we're going to get more than 3 remixes from this live. Mainly because it's like twice as long as our usual lives, but we've got more content to pick from, so probably going to spend like half an hour to an hour going through the live at 2x, skipping through some of the more long-winded stories and go to like the 10-second, 20-second quotables that are interesting. Checking my notification. It is a meme. I will check it later. All right. Cool. Well, this has been fun. I hope you got some value out of this. And we're going to come back tomorrow. So I'm going to change the banner to like a call to action or something. I heard those are good. People listen, apparently. I'm going to test it out. Good things happen. All to actions are good. So I hear. So subscribe and good things happen. So be good. Do good things. Subscribe and good things happen. And